So kind of, I wanted to talk about your blistering yoke speeds. So, for instance, at World's Strongest Man, I think Evan was probably the only one that beat you. I think you and Kearney had the same around the same time, around like 11 seconds, 11.6 seconds.
Yeah.
You still beat Novikov, who was a great yoke runner, and then at the Shaw Classic, with 1,100 pounds, you beat everybody by 4 seconds, which is an eternity of when you talk about like a regular kind of foot race. Like 4 seconds is a big that's a beat down when it comes to the yoke. I was scrolling through a lot of your Instagram and I saw a lot of squat videos. Do you attribute your yoke strength to your squat videos, or is something else that attributes your great strength and speed in the yoke?
That's a good pickup. That's a good pickup. I think squatting is probably the most underdone thing in strongman. And I believe that that was evidenced in the leg press at the Shaw Classic, where a lot of guys couldn't do one leg press. And when you talk about general leg strength, it carries over to all of your push presses, all of your carries, and then obviously your deadlift and squat events. So when it comes to strongman training, yes, I believe squatting is a very important part of doing the yoke, but I attribute it much more to my athletic background.
Mhm.
And if you think about the biomechanics of running, running is the same range of motion as the yoke, as in very small knee bend to a powerful extension. And that doesn't directly translate over. But if you talk two things, one, muscle fibers, it's always type one muscle fibers when you're sprinting. Say when I was doing American football, when I was pushing it up a hill, all that type of stuff. Then when you talk about soft tissues, my plantar fascia, the soft tissues in my knees, my Achilles tendons, my proximal hamstring tendons, my back from the joint, all of that, the soft tissues in the bones would be much stronger than someone who just decided to specialize in strongman. On top of that, a very common thing for people when they train yoke, particularly if you train yoke more than once a week, it's almost guaranteed you get some type of strain of your tibialis posterior, which for people at home, it's that pain in your shin that if you go on the inside of your shin, you almost push under your shin bone. When that starts to get painful, inevitably with yoke, that's not something that I experience. That muscle goes around the inside of your ankle, underneath the bottom of your foot, attaching on the base of your pinky toe. And that basically maintains your arch of your foot or assists to. And so people without strong feet, people without strong tibialis posteriors will have their foot collapse, and then it starts to cause them aggravating injuries. And at the pro level, it's almost without exception that guys get that, and that's the limiting factor. And for me, I never ever feel that, and I completely attribute that to marathon running.